Hi, Minster here. This is an update on the Pure Chaos build with an Occultist variation. The Ascendancy gets Profane Bloom from the skill tree, and Profane Bloom gives the same explosion as the Obliteration wand. So you now have 3 options while keeping at least 40% chance to corpse explode. Akimbo Obliteration, or you can swap one unique wand out for a shield or a rare wand. And since it's a witch, you can easily go CI. The Occultist Ascendancy points have a similar effect as Obliteration wand, but note, for it to work the target needs to be cursed. That means any target outside of your blasphemy range is no longer cursed. I'll start testing without Obliteration wand, so we can only observe the Profane Bloom. The character mimics blasphemy with the unique Witch Brew flask. The explosions are unreliable, so with 2 Obliteration wands we can scale the explosion chance to 60%, but still monsters outside the blasphemy range are not cursed. You could use curse on hit of course, but then it would only work on the monsters you have hit with your curse setup. To keep up the maximum chance to explode there's a solution: ascendancy gloves. Curse enemies with temporal chains on hit. Now watch it in slow motion, the explosions also hit and hence curse with temporal chains. That means monsters outside your blasphemy and even off screen can be cursed, and this is vital for your chain reaction potential. I'm starting out cursing with the Witch Brew flask and ascendancy gloves. So when going Occultist you'll have the following options: go Akimbo with the 60% chance to explode. I'm using the Aura's Discipline since I'm CI, and I'm using Grace for some extra defense. Now I can replace an Obliteration wand with a shield. This makes my energy shield above 10k, that might be vital for the hardest content. And my chance to corpse explode is still 60 minus 20, 40%. This character is level 77 I believe, so the gems, gear and skill tree are not optimized. I'm using a 6th link, so it's enough to showcase the general idea. Another possible option is a rare wand, where the rare wand can be a delirium essence wand that gives decay on hit. Now this is from the essence leak and it might not return after the leak is done. And if it does return, it might be nerfed to Kingdom Come, because the support gems linked to the skill applying the decay also boost the decay itself. Yes, that's insane. Reading that 1000 damage over 1 second might not be much, but with a link setup like Blade Vortex, Void Manipulation, Rapid Decay, Conk Effect, Poison and Increased Duration, and the damage from your skill tree and gear on top, that 1000 damage scales through the roof. The downside is a lot of the gems are green. That's 5 off colors for a foul regalia. It's so rare of getting, rolling that is not my cup of tea. You can easily spend more currency on getting the right colors than the currency you spend on 6-linking the chest in the first place. So what about a carcass jack? Energy shield and evasion, perfect. But how much energy shield are we going to lose versus the regalia? 500 ES, that's a lot. Now in combination with the Dying Sun AoE flask, it adds up for some big AoE. The loss of energy shield hurts too much though. Perhaps if you drop a wand for a shield you get more energy shield, but then you'd go back down to 20% chance to corpse explode, and I don't want to have that irregular explosions. So what about the carnal armor? Now this one is spectacularly good. The evasion on the chest makes for easy chromatic rolling, all for the decay setup. Now you might wonder, Grace for evasion, body armor for evasion, why all this trouble for a little evasion? Well, the idea is, monsters hit you, you take energy shield damage, then for the ES regen to kick in you must not be hit for a while. So monsters attack again and tada! Evasion makes the monsters miss, and thus will provide the time needed for your ES regen to kick in. Occultists specialize very well in regenning ES. When triggered, it regens like Slayer Leech for 4 seconds, so it does not stop when you reach your maximum energy shield. Now the main source of leech is provided by Atziri's flask. Single target leech is bad, but the explosions are leeching very well because they're chaos damage. So you need a Finctus flask after all if you do not get the ES regen working. I'll demo my level 77 character in a tier 15 colonnade to finish this video off. As you can see, the big life pool of tier 50 monsters and their chaos resist hurts, but with the last 2 ascendancy skill points up for grabs from the Uber Lab and 50 more character levels and better gear, this would be easy enough. Decay is a boss killer. Extra foul skills can be Foul Lightning Trap, Foul Discipline and Foul Clarity, Since your mana management is really bad, your aim is to hit targets just once and spread the decay, but for a boss you want to wind up. Even without decay, the Occultist can be set up as a boss killer. CI and Flask, while you're not Pathfinder, they're still great. The chaos damage compensates for going non-crit, although you might even decide to go crit after all. The class Witch gives a lot of possibilities, you could even go Tri-Curse. Now compared to the Berserker, the Occultist has bigger potential, in both single target damage and as a tank, but becomes more expensive. You might need a Finctus Flask to compensate for the Berserker Leech or invest into the Occultist ES regen. With Essence Decay, it's OP. The curses can make up for the 40% more Berserker damage, so the Occultist has good chain explosion potential. In conclusion, if you like Chaos Explosions and want to play with Obliteration ones in a new league, check if the Essence Decay is still there in its OP form. If yes, go Occultist with the highest potential. If not, you might go budget mode with Berserker to start the league. Well, that was it for now. Thanks for watching.